What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and fellow hobbyists, and welcome to this week's P&Q, my question and answer series, where I answer your questions, or you put comments to me and then I answer them, and this is done the following week. So you'll ask me questions during this week, I'll answer or respond to them the following week, every Monday, without fail. 4 ways of doing it. Pop your comments or questions down below in the comments section, or you can email me directly at miniwarzone@gmail.com. That'll give you an anonymous response. Just turn the camera down a bit there. That'll give you an anonymous response. Or if you do a video yourself and ask a question in it, and I pick it up, I'll answer that here. Some people do weekly questions from time to time. I do mine every week, but that's a different series. Or you can, if you bump into me in person and we have a conversation, or you ask me a question, then I'll probably deal with that here as well. So looking at my questions, I've got 2 emails and 1 video question, and then it's the questions from last week. So preamble all out the way, let's get straight to it, shall we? Do the emails first and then the video question, because that's just how it's printed out here. So the first email says blah 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 blah. Cut to the question. So what I want to know is, where did you get your Mars cap? Loved your last episode regarding the copyright stuff. Scary stuff indeed. Mars cap, I wore it last time, didn't I? I got my mini Warzone one on today. Where did I get it? I got it in NASA, the Kennedy Space Center. The shop there when I went to Florida last year, a year ago. Can I believe that? No. It's been a year ago since I went there. Doesn't seem that long ago to me that I went to Florida. Oh, I miss Florida. It was nice. Although the weather there at the moment, it's not none too hospitable, is it? As for the copyright stuff, yeah, it is kind of scary, but it's kind of kicked me in the rear to kind of start polishing up my channel a bit and sorting out the look of it. You may notice a gradual change coming over the channel. I'm trying to do it as quick as I can, but there's a lot of videos. There's 1,200 videos in my channel, so it's a lot to do. Just to change like a thumbnail on a playlist, for instance, it takes a while, and yeah, it's a lot of clicking and making sure you've got it. But I'm having fun doing the emails. The emails. I'm having fun doing the thumbnails. Emails. Yes, I'm having fun doing them. It's kind of fun. I'm just messing around with stuff, and use my own images and imagery. I'll do that from now on as much as I possibly can. And if I can't, then I'll make sure I'm sure that it's okay to use. But yeah, thanks for your question. Okay, the second email says, oh, this is the entire email, really, really, really short, just like 1 sentence. Hi Pete, quick question for you. Are you going to be doing your usual October stuff this year? No, not, as you may have gathered, because by now I would have been doing a lot of it. Purely just down to time. I've got so much other stuff on the go at the moment. I'm looking tomorrow. I'll see my Orc Bomber, which is what I wanted to get done this year. It doesn't look like that will happen this month. Definitely not. Will it happen this year? I don't know. It's possible. If I run out of other stuff to do, it's always possible that I will get to it that way. But yeah, so no October for me this year. Sad face. Okay, that's the emails out of the way. I've got my cup of tea, by the way. Well, I had my tooth pulled out. That's all healing nicely. So still got a nice smile. Yeah. Yes, that's healing nicely. Supposed to be doing like a salt water mouthwash every meal and bedtimes, and yeah, I hate salt water mouthwashes. On to the video question, the one I have. It's from Black Country Wargamer on his Ask My Audience series. And he's asking, what are your thoughts on basing your miniatures, and do you think it is so essential? Well, I know that Carl doesn't base his anymore, and I haven't done my Walking Dead ones to date. I've just painted them black. I'm going to see how I get on with that, see if I like it or not. Do I think it's so essential? Well, it's not, for me, it's not essential in the game. It's more for like, I don't know, it's more for like when I'm looking at a miniature on its own. I kind of like to look at it on a based base. But I've got to remember it's a game piece, and little more than that really. So I'm just going to see how I get on with the black for now. If I want to base them later on, I can do. So that's what I'll do. So, I mean, it's a nice idea not basing them. If I had clear bases, I'd probably put them on that, cut them off of those, and put them on a clear base. But I don't know. I may base them. I can see myself basing them in the end. But I'm prepared to have an open mind and go for not basing them first, just to see how I get on. I don't think it's essential, no. But it's a personal choice, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's a personal choice. So that's all for that side of it. So I'm on to the comments or questions that were left for me from last week's show. And the first one at the top of the list there is from Atomic Dog Scale Model Freak. Mr. Brian says, "Duh, I know I have images up there. I have been using them since '08. I'm sure I may get dinged someday. Thanks for the info." I think by and large, for the most part, we're okay. I think we're okay, but it's becoming. The thing is, it's changing, and I feel that if a copyright law changes, like now, 2017, anything you've done prior to that would breach it now. I don't think that should count, because if they're kind of extending their reach of copyright, as it were, their borders, the borderland to Copyrightville or Copyright County, whatever you want to call it, however you want to know it as. But I think by and large we're okay. You probably would have gotten told about it by now. It's just the off chance you may be the odd one. I think the majority of the images are free that people use, but people do use an awful lot of other people's or companies' images, and they do it all the time. Thanks for your comment. The next is from Frost and Fists, who says, "Great episode, Pete. The copyright infringement stuff is scary. It's becoming more scary in the last few years, I think. Looking forward to seeing your changes. Maybe you'll lead us all down a safer route for thumbnails and video images." Well, well, I'm certainly going down a safer route, definitely, but it's taking me a while. It's a gradual process. First off, I wanted to just change a load of images for one of my own, like unboxing. I'll just change it for a quick image of me with a box, like with the lid open. That'll do. Put it up. Now I'm going back and trying to polish them up a bit, but make them better, and more in line with how I want my channel to look. So yeah. Hopefully, I won't take too long. Hopefully, by the end of the year, it'll be done. That's what I'm hoping for. That's my little mini goal. Super Wargamer says, "What do you think a Tyrannid Ripper tastes like? Would you taste one if you had the chance to eat one? What would a Tyrannid Ripper taste like? Probably taste like chicken. Yeah, chicken with a cross between chicken and crab, I think. Yeah, a sort of fishy chicken taste. Yeah, that's what I think. I'm going for a cross between a chicken and a crab. That's what I think it would taste like." Put a comment on after as well, saying, "Nice video and some very useful information." Well, you're welcome. Okay, next is Idic Beer, 40k. So this is from Nick. It says, great chat, Pete. Reference copyright. I agree with the barking dog. Yes, because one of my dogs was barking. Might have even been both of them. I don't know. Question for next time: if you started your own Kickstarter, what would it be for? And do you remember your first games console, and what was your favourite game? Wow. Wow, Kickstarter. Let's try and think of that one first. If I started my own Kickstarter, what would it be for? Probably, oh, heck, I don't know. I don't even know if it would be hobby related. If it was hobby related, I think I'd go for, I don't know, maybe a rule set in hardback, have it lovely illustrated and, you know, all that kind of good stuff. So I get an artist on board and, you know, do that. Yeah, that's what I would do. Do I remember my first games console or what was my favourite game? Yes, I do, with fond memories. My first games console was a Sega Mega Drive. So it was at the time of the 16-bit craze, when because I had an Amiga as well. I had a Commodore Amiga, and the console war was really taking off between Sega and Nintendo back then. The generation before that, you just had the Sega Master System, which, or was it the Master System 2? I didn't have that. That was the 8-bit one, and the Nintendo. The 8-bit Nintendo, and then they came out with the SNES, it was supposed to be 16-bit. It was kind of an 8-bit that thought it was a 16-bit, but it was a very good console. But I had the Sega Mega Drive. My favourite game was Sonic the Hedgehog. Absolutely, Sonic the Hedgehog all the way. It was just brilliant. And Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I quite liked Streets of Rage as well. That was kind of fun. Yeah. But my friend had a SNES. My favourite game that he had was Street Fighter 2, I think it was. But my favourite game that I owned was Sonic the Hedgehog, and that was my favourite game of all time at the time, which is why I got the Sega Mega Drive as opposed to the SNES, because you couldn't get Sonic the Hedgehog on a SNES, and I kind of preferred the controller on the Mega Drive just that little bit more. Yeah. Wow, that's taking me back. Yeah. After that, I was just about to go on to the next question, but you've taken me back, Nick, on a trip to Nostalgia City there. I know after that, when I was still playing the Mega Drive right through into its kind of its waning years, really. Everybody else was getting the next generation of stuff, and the one I got after that was the PlayStation 1. I think that was a 32-bit console. Yeah, I thought that was amazing at the time. But and of course, having games on CDs, like CD-ROM and that. Yeah, and of course, at the time I had a PC as well, my first PC, and I had a lot of click and point games, adventure games. Excuse me. Yeah, I know I've digressed from the original question there, but it's so brilliant thinking of those memories. I mean, oh wow, it's just such a good time. Good time for gaming for me. Right, I'm definitely moving on now. I'm coming out of there. Okay. Crew Angela Silicus is next. He says, great chat, Pete. Funnily enough, I got in touch with GW and the chap who cried copyright of the image I was using. It doesn't hold the kind of... Right, let me start that question again, because I tumbled over my words there, and that's not good. It says, great chat, Pete. Right, because he had someone who flagged up one of the images he was using. This is how the whole copyright thing came to be. This is why I did a little bit on it. So, funnily enough, I got in touch with GW, and the chap who cried copyright of the image I was using doesn't hold the copyright for that image, as it's a derivative of a GW IP. So GW actually own the rights to the image, as he's basically ripped it off them. And I thought that was super funny, absolutely hilarious. What else can I say? That is just funny. That really is. But yeah, the whole copyright thing, you know, like I say, you just gotta be careful. That's all. Just go careful when you're doing it. Don't go too crazy. I mean, it's a shame because you can get some really amazing images out there to use. But I'm just playing it safe, boring and safe, and using my own stuff. And that way, I'm not getting done for copyright on anything, and no way, sir. Right, WG Revival heads up for the last question, so let's have a sip of tea before I go into that. WG Revival says, great sesh, Pete. Question, is that a genuine Admiral hoodie? Like the 1986 England football jumpers? Delighted your face is on the mend. Oh, thank you, sir. My face is feeling good. It's all good. Getting better every day. So thank you for that. As regard to the hoodie, it wasn't this one. It was my other one, my other dark grey one with the little symbol there. It's not a genuine Admiral. It just comes from a Peacock, I think the shop's called, where my wife bought it for me. Because it would have come from Peacock, because that's the one of the shops. Excuse me. And then like a mini shopping centre near where she works, and she got it for me one lunchtime. It just came back and said, I got you a new hoodie. I was like, oh, thank you very much. And so I don't know what make it is, but it comes from Peacock, so probably Peacock is the make, I don't know. And that is all the questions I've got for the P&Q this time. Please keep them coming in. Questions or comments. Anything you want to know. Just hit me up down below. Hit that like button as well. That really helps me out a lot. Because the more likes I get, the more likely it's to be recommended in other people's viewing things, and then they might think, who is this? Share as well if you can, if you don't mind. Share it onto whatever formats you use. I always share all my videos and other videos I like on Google Plus, Twitter, and Facebook. But whatever format you're on is fine. Hit the bell button if you want to get notifications. Click on my Patreon link if you want to go there and think you want to help me out that way. That would be amazeballs, man. I really would. That would really, really help me out big time. Other than that, I don't think there's anything left to say. Other than, remember, all brushes lead to war. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now, folks. Bye.